Good morning, sweet ladies. Thank you for joining us in Far Above Rubies today. I'm so very glad that each of you are here. Today, as we're continuing our walk through the books of 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, and Philippians, we are diving into Ephesians chapter 2, and we're going to talk about dead man walking. Dead man walking. I'm going to read to you verse 1 and verse 2. It says, "Once you were dead because of your disobedience and your many sins. You used to live in sin just like the rest of the world." So I want to say this. Hello, my name is Erin, and I used to be a dead man walking. And guess what? So did you. So did you. We get too full of ourselves as Christians sometimes when we have established relationship with the Lord. Maybe when we've been in church our whole entire lives, or we've known and walked with God for 2 years or 5 years or 10 years or 15 years or 25 or 50 years. We can start to become too full of ourselves, and we can forget where we came from. We can forget that we once walked in disobedience and sin, and that we were dead just like the rest of the world. We can start to look down our noses at those who are struggling, those who don't yet know Christ, or those who are just coming to know Christ, and we can say, how can they make such a mess of their lives? We can really ask those questions. It sounds harsh when you hear me say it, but we ask those questions. How can they be so foolish? How can they mess up? Can't they see what's right in front of them? Didn't they see that coming? They didn't see that temptation turning into something more. They didn't see where their bad decisions were leading them. And we can forget that we were once dead man walking too. We were once there. We can forget the path of death and destruction that God saved us from. I was once just like that hurting and broken soul, trying their best but leaning on their own understanding. I was once there too. We need to stop being so full of ourselves, and we need to start being full of Christ. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. Do you think that Jesus sits around looking at you or anyone else and saying, what's wrong with her? Why didn't she get her act together sooner? How could she possibly be struggling with this right now? Or do you think he sits there with grace and compassion and says, I understand what she's going through? We live in the age of social media, and I know that you will be able to identify with what I am about to say. I have seen over and over and over again, far too many times, Christian people filled with the Spirit of God get on social media and use words like disgusting, use words like horrifying, use words like hate that, hate them, use words that destroy and break down and tear down, use words like, oh, that person gets whatever they deserve, whatever they get, using words like that person should not just be put in jail, they should be put under the jail, using words like somebody should do to them what they did to that person, using words like I hope somebody takes them out. I have seen Christian people using this kind of language on social media. If we who are followers of Jesus, if we who are supposed to have the mind of Christ cannot identify with those who are still dead men walking, then who will? If we cannot offer grace, if we cannot offer salvation and redemption and hope, who will? Who will? 1 Corinthians chapter 6, I'm going to give you another reading challenge today, and it's just 3 short verses. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 9 through 11. Please, in addition to Ephesians 2, please go read 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 9 through 11. Paul gives this nice long laundry list of all kinds of horrible, terrible, disgusting sin. And he says, imagine all of this, but wait, such were some of you. Such were some of you. If I got what I deserved, I'd still be a dead man walking. Would you? Go read Ephesians chapter 2. Go read 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 9 through 11. And I hope that this passage and this devotional sticks with you. And when you see someone making a mistake, and when you see someone fall, and when you see someone struggling with things that you can't comprehend why they're struggling with, that you look at them and you see a dead man walking, or you remember that you once were a dead man walking, and you give them some grace. If no one's told you lately, you are loved, and you are cherished, and you are valuable. You have beautiful and tremendous worth, even if you haven't always known that. Even if it took you time to figure that out. Even if you are still figuring that out. And that worth is far above rubies. Thank you for being here with me today, and I will see you all again tomorrow. God bless you.